As we saw in the last episode, Tang San and several other students had successfully gained admission to Shrek Academy. After entering the campus, they noticed a sausage stand. Xiao Wu immediately got hungry and asked Tang San to buy her one. Tang San walked over to the stall and addressed the vendor as uncle. The sausage seller instantly looked offended. It turned out he wasn't an uncle at all. He was actually a student at the academy just like them. Hearing that made Tang San feel pretty awkward. At that moment, Dai Mubai also arrived and immediately started scolding the sausage seller because selling those sausages was technically against the rules. Confused, Tang San asked what was wrong with them. Dai Mubai explained that the sausages were created directly from the seller's spirit soul. His spirit soul was food-based, allowing him to create sausages using his own bodily fluids and spirit energy. The moment Tang San heard that explanation, he nearly threw up and immediately returned the sausage. Dai Mubai burst out laughing. The sausage seller has several different names throughout the story, but from this point on, we'll call him Oscar. Along the way, we also see the two girls who had arrived alongside Tang San and Xiao Wu. Technically, none of them had officially been admitted yet. The admission process was still ongoing. A large crowd of students stood in line for the first entrance exam. Tang San was about to join them when Dai Mubai stopped him and led him directly toward exam 4. The students waiting in the first line immediately became angry. After all, these newcomers were skipping exams 1, 2, and 3 entirely. Dai Mubai calmly explained that anyone above rank 20 was allowed to skip the first 3 tests. Tang San was rank 29, Xiao Wu was rank 26, and rank 27. Because of that, only those 4 qualified for exam 4. As they walked, Dai Mubai explained something even more surprising. None of the students standing in the earlier lines would pass anyway. The second and third exams were extremely difficult, and students below rank 20 almost never succeeded. In fact, Shrek Academy accepted only 2 or 3 students each year. Throughout its entire history, only 42 students had ever enrolled. The group found this strange. Wouldn't such strict standards hurt the academy financially? After all, fewer students meant less tuition money. Dai Mubai laughed. The academy's headmaster was a man who never compromised his principles. He would rather die poor than teach untalented students. The funniest part was that the academy actually had more teachers than students. That was what made Shrek Academy so special. The quality of education here was considered exceptional. That was also why Grandmaster had specifically recommended this place to Tang San. Dai Mubai then explained another shocking fact. Graduating from Shrek Academy was even harder than getting admitted. To earn a diploma, students had to reach rank 40 or higher. Anyone who failed to achieve that level would be expelled without graduating. Because of those requirements, only 14 students had ever graduated. Those 14 had all gone on to become famous and influential figures. As for the others, many died while hunting spirit beasts and pursuing cultivation. Hearing that made everyone nervous. Still, they wanted to study at Shrek Academy no matter what. Soon they arrived at exam 4. Waiting there was Vice Principal Zhao Wuji. Zhao Wuji had a terrifying reputation and an extremely arrogant personality. Mercy was not one of his strengths. After looking over the 4 applicants, he made an announcement. If you want admission, attack me together. I'll attack as well. If you win, you're in. If I win, all of you leave. His name was Zhao Wuji. He was a rank 76 Spirit Master. Dai Mubai quickly explained just how terrifying he was. Even 40 armed soldiers attacking together wouldn't be enough to defeat him. His spirit soul was a supreme bear. Because of his incredible strength, many people referred to him as the immovable king. The moment everyone heard that title, they were stunned. Even they had heard stories about the immovable king. He was a legendary powerhouse. Dai Mubai then explained his weakness, speed. If they wanted any chance of winning, they would have to use their speed and teamwork. The 4 students were given 30 minutes to prepare. During that time, they introduced themselves. The girl in blue was Ning Rong Rong. She came from the 7 Treasure Glaze Tile clan. Her spirit soul was a support-type tool spirit soul. Although she wasn't a frontline fighter, her abilities were incredibly valuable. Using her spirit soul, she could increase everyone's speed by 30%. The group was thrilled. The second girl was Juju Qing. She wore black clothes and possessed a cat-type spirit soul. She was also extremely powerful. Tang San quickly took charge and began assigning positions and battle roles. 30 minutes later, the fight began. The students unleashed their spirit souls and launched a coordinated attack. Tang San used his spirit ring abilities while the others supported him. Yet Zhao Wuji stopped every attack without even using his own spirit soul. Then he started beating them down one by one. To make things worse, he seemed to be enjoying himself. The students were steadily losing. Tang San finally became serious. He activated his spirit ring, wrapped Zhao Wuji in blue-silver grass, and secretly released poison. This caused Zhao Wuji some minor trouble. For the first time, he became interested. Now he felt like the fight was actually getting fun. He finally released his own spirit soul and began fighting seriously. The battle immediately became much more difficult. One by one, everyone was overwhelmed. Eventually, Xiao Wu was knocked unconscious. The moment Tang San saw Xiao Wu collapse, he lost his composure. Furious, he stepped forward. "Stop this match. From now on, it's just you and me. If I win, you give us admission." Zhao Wuji accepted. This time, Tang San openly used his hidden weapons. Dozens of projectiles attacked from multiple directions. Since Zhao Wuji had never seen weapons like these before, he couldn't avoid all of them. Several hidden weapons struck their target. Even so, Zhao Wuji was rank 76. He forcefully removed them and started laughing. Then Tang San smiled as well. Only then did everyone realize the truth. The hidden weapons had been coated with poison. The toxins slowly began weakening Zhao Wuji. To finish the battle, Tang San summoned his hammer and launched a final attack. The impact injured him as well, but Zhao Wuji was no longer capable of continuing the fight. Dai Mubai finally stepped forward and declared Tang San the winner. Zhao Wuji looked devastated. He had just been defeated by a 13-year-old boy. Soon afterward, Oscar arrived and gave Zhao Wuji one of his healing sausages. After recovering slightly, Zhao Wuji left in frustration while trying to maintain his pride. Meanwhile, Oscar immediately developed a crush on Ning Rongrong. He even tried flirting with her. Unfortunately for him, Dai Mubai escorted the girls away before Oscar got very far. Watching them leave made Oscar incredibly jealous. That night, Zhao Wuji sat alone in his office thinking about the battle. Suddenly, he sensed an overwhelmingly powerful presence nearby. Immediately, he rushed into the forest and released his spirit soul. Someone had entered Shrek Academy's territory without permission. Moments later, a masked man appeared, addressing him as the immovable king. That man was none other than Tang San's father, Tang Hao. A crimson aura surrounded him. Beside him floated a massive hammer. Tang Hao's strength was beyond terrifying. His rank was above 90. The moment Zhao Wuji realized who he was facing, his face turned pale. Tang Hao had come for one reason: to punish Zhao Wuji for how he treated the children earlier that day. The arrogant vice principal instantly turned into a frightened kitten. Tang Hao was furious. He fully intended to beat him up. At that moment, the dean of Shrek Academy arrived. As the academy's leader, he couldn't simply stand by while his vice principal was attacked. But after seeing Tang Hao, he immediately understood the situation. Even if both of them fought together, they still wouldn't stand a chance. If he interfered, he'd only get beaten too. This was the moment we truly began to understand just how powerful Tang Hao was. His full backstory is incredibly shocking and will be revealed later. Tang Hao then repeated Zhao Wuji's own words back to him. "You have 30 minutes. Defend yourself for 30 minutes. After that, I'll leave." Terrified, Zhao Wuji activated his spirit soul and attacked. Tang Hao casually blocked every attack without even using his own spirit soul. Then he proceeded to beat Zhao Wuji mercilessly. After thoroughly teaching him a lesson, Tang Hao said goodbye and disappeared. Earlier that day, the son had beaten Zhao Wuji. That night, the father finished the job. Naturally, Zhao Wuji was miserable. Interestingly, neither Zhao Wuji nor the dean realized that Tang San was Tang Hao's son. Afterward, Zhao Wuji complained to the dean for not helping him, but the poor dean knew he wouldn't have survived either. The next morning, Tang San woke up inside a room and found Oscar nearby. Oscar greeted him and offered him breakfast. He introduced himself properly and revealed that he was rank 29. The conversation eventually shifted towards Xiao Wu. It was obvious to everyone that Xiao Wu liked Tang San. Unfortunately, Tang San remained completely clueless. Even after discussing her, he still insisted that she was just a friend. Later, Tang San returned to the training ground, where he had fought Zhao Wuji. There, he collected all the hidden weapons he had embedded in the ground during the battle. At the same time, he realized something important. If he wanted to fight experts as powerful as Zhao Wuji in the future, he would need even stronger hidden weapons and much more training. Afterward, he returned to his room. Oscar was lying comfortably on the bed. Tang San invited him to come train. Oscar immediately refused. His spirit soul was food-based, so he didn't need the same kind of intense physical training. Not long afterward, Tang San met up with Xiao Wu. He apologized for failing to protect her during the battle. Xiao Wu quickly stopped him. None of it had been his fault. Their opponent had simply been far too powerful. The two spent some time talking and eventually began discussing the academy's dean. If the vice principal was already this strong, how powerful must the principal be? Later, the two went for a walk around campus. During their stroll, they came across a chubby boy arguing with his girlfriend. The girl wanted to break up with him, but the boy kept grabbing her arm and trying to force her to stay. Then he noticed Xiao Wu. Without hesitation, he started flirting with her in a rude and inappropriate manner. Xiao Wu immediately became angry and stepped forward to confront him. Tang San quickly arrived and told the boy to let the girl go. The chubby student refused. A fight broke out between the two. To Tang San's surprise, the boy effortlessly avoided every attack. Clearly, he was very powerful. The boy then released his spirit soul. It was a beast-type spirit soul, a phoenix. Among beast-type spirit souls, the phoenix was considered one of the strongest. It could fly and unleash powerful flames. Tang San and Xiao Wu were both shocked. No one expected such an overweight student to possess such an incredible spirit soul. Tang San responded by activating his own spirit soul. However, his attacks weren't very effective. Blue silver grass was a plant-type spirit soul, and plants naturally feared fire. Seeing this, Xiao Wu joined the battle. Even she struggled against him. However, because Xiao Wu was a beautiful girl, the boy became distracted for a moment. That brief lapse in concentration gave Xiao Wu an opening. She immediately launched a counterattack and knocked him to the ground. Xiao Wu celebrated happily, but the chubby boy slowly got back up and glared at them. Then he said, "Now I'm really not going to let you off." Just as the fight was about to start again, Dai Mubai suddenly stepped in and stopped everyone. After calming things down, he explained that the chubby boy wasn't actually a bad person. Then he told everyone the story behind him. The boy was a student at Shrek Academy who had enrolled earlier that year. His spirit soul was a mutated spirit soul, meaning it was created from the fusion of two different bloodlines. Mutated spirit souls were extremely rare and often incredibly powerful, which explained why he was so strong. However, there was a downside. He still couldn't fully control his spirit soul, and because of that, it affected his emotions and behavior. Whenever it acted up, he would unintentionally cause trouble for the people around him. His spirit soul also caused him to become strongly attracted to girls. Unfortunately, every girlfriend he had ever dated ended up leaving him, which was why he was always frustrated and miserable. There was only one way to keep his spirit soul under control: food. As long as he ate until he was completely full, his condition remained stable. Hearing all of this made the others feel even more confused. Ever since arriving at Shrek Academy, they had encountered one strange person after another. At this point, everyone finally understood why this place was called the Monster Academy. Dai Mubai then formally introduced him to the group. Soon afterward, Oscar arrived and introduced himself as well. Naturally, he couldn't resist trying to impress Ning Rongrong. He had even shaved his beard to look more handsome. Unfortunately, Ning Rongrong wasn't impressed at all. In fact, she found his behavior slightly irritating. A short while later, the academy's dean arrived. The moment Xiao Wu saw him, she immediately recognized him. He was the same shopkeeper who had sold them the hair crystal. It turned out that he wasn't just a random merchant. He was also the dean of Shrek Academy. The dean gathered everyone into a line and began assigning tasks. First, he called Oscar and Ning Rongrong forward and ordered them to run 20 laps around the academy. After sending them off, he told Dai Mubai to explain the academy's rules to the others. At the same time, he asked Tang San to meet him in his office. Inside, they discussed Grandmaster for a while. Tang San then showed him Grandmaster's recommendation letter, which basically stated that Tang San was approved to study at Shrek Academy. Meanwhile, far away, members of Ning Rong's clan were furious after learning that she had run away from home. When they discovered that she was studying at Shrek Academy, they became even angrier. In their eyes, they could provide her with a better education than any academy. Back at Shrek, Oscar and Ning Rongrong were still running their laps. Since Ning Rong hadn't eaten anything all day, Oscar tried making a sausage with his spirit soul and offered it to her. Still acting proud and stubborn, Ning Rong refused and continued running ahead of him. At the same time, her clan sent people to bring her back home. Later that day, all the students gathered in formation once again. The dean asked Oscar whether he had completed all 20 laps. Oscar answered honestly and said yes. Then the dean turned to Ning Rongrong. Before she could answer, Oscar quickly spoke up and claimed that she had completed them too. The dean called Oscar forward, praised him for his effort, and then immediately ordered him to run 20 more laps. Oscar was clearly disappointed, but he couldn't disobey his teacher, so he quietly left and started running again. The truth was obvious. The dean already knew Ning Rongrong hadn't completed the task. Oscar had finished his own laps but lied to protect her. Afterward, the dean turned his attention toward Ning Rongrong. He began criticizing her behavior. That only made her angry. Used to getting everything she wanted, she started arguing with him and raising her voice. "This is a school, not a battlefield. Why does everyone have to obey every order?" The Seven Treasure Glazed Tile clan was one of the most powerful clans in the world. Because of her upbringing, Ning Rongrong had developed a habit of acting arrogant and speaking however she pleased. The dean had heard enough. He immediately told her to leave the academy. Then he ordered Dai Mubai to pack her belongings. Ning Rongrong responded with a threat. "If you force me out, my clan won't let you get away with it." The dean wasn't intimidated in the slightest. Instead, he fired back. "What exactly can you do? You're the weakest girl here. You should be grateful we even accepted you." Those words hit Ning Rongrong hard. She had always considered herself exceptional, but when she looked around at Tang San, Xiao Wu, Dai Mubai, Fatty, and Zhu Juqing, she suddenly realized how strong everyone else actually was. Then she glanced at Oscar. At least she had to be stronger than him. Or so she thought. The dean quickly corrected her. Even Oscar possessed innate full soul power and was considered a top-tier genius within his field. Only then did Ning Rongrong finally understand. Overwhelmed, she ran away in tears. That evening, the dean took the students into the city. After walking around for a while, they arrived at a massive arena. Here, spirit masters fought one another in official matches. Victories earned points and special badges. The dean explained that every Shrek student was required to obtain at least a silver badge before graduating. After entering, Dai Mubai revealed his own record. He had won 29 matches and lost 27. That gave him a score of 2. Then Fatty shared his record. His score was already 9. The reason was simple. Since Fatty's soul power was lower, he usually faced weaker opponents. Dai Mubai, on the other hand, constantly fought stronger enemies because of his higher rank. Soon, Tang San and Xiao Wu registered for a 2 versus 2 match. Their team was officially named San Wu. The first match began shortly afterward. Xiao Wu was called into the arena to face an opponent with an Iron Rhino spirit soul. The man was physically powerful. However, Xiao Wu wasn't intimidated. Without even relying heavily on her spirit soul, she rushed forward and engaged him in close combat. After an impressive exchange, she skillfully defeated him and secured the victory. Next came Tang San's match. His opponent was Zhu Juqing. Tang San knew that Zhu Juqing's greatest strength was her speed. To counter her, he began creating a trap. Using blue-silver grass, he constructed a cage-like formation and spread vines across the battlefield. At first, it looked as though he wanted to trap Zhu Juqing inside. Seeing this made Dai Mubai unhappy because he wanted Zhu Juqing to win. Inside the cage, Tang San repeatedly tried to catch her, but Zhu Juqing avoided every attempt. Eventually, she leaped upward, trying to escape from above. The moment Dai Mubai saw that movement, he understood Tang San's real plan. Tang San never intended to trap her inside the cage. He wanted her to jump. The blue-silver grass hidden across the ground was waiting for exactly that moment. As soon as Zhu Juqing landed, the vines wrapped around her legs and restrained her. Tang San successfully captured her. The referee immediately declared him the winner. Zhu Juqing was disappointed by the loss. Dai Mubai comforted her. The battlefield had been completely flat, which worked against her fighting style. Her true strength came from mobility and attacking from elevated positions. Because of that, she shouldn't be discouraged. Soon, the 2 versus 2 match began. Tang San and Xiao Wu faced 2 brothers. One possessed the Iron Tiger Spirit Soul. The other possessed the Iron Dragon Spirit Soul. Both were incredibly powerful. The brothers coordinated their attacks perfectly and used hammer-based techniques to overwhelm Tang San and Xiao Wu. Although Tang San fought back, the brothers were simply stronger. At one point, one of them landed a direct hammer strike on Tang San. The attack injured him badly. Fortunately, before getting hit, Tang San had already trapped both brothers within blue-silver grass. Seeing Tang San wounded made Xiao Wu furious. She immediately became serious. Without thinking, she threw her blades at the brothers. The problem was that this was only a competition. Those blades could have killed them. Realizing the danger, Tang San instantly launched one of his hidden weapons and diverted the attack, saving the brothers' lives. After witnessing their strength and teamwork, the two brothers admitted defeat on their own. As a result, Team San Wu was declared the winner. After the match, Tang San came to an important realization. The world contained far more powerful warriors than he had imagined. If he wanted to reach the top, he needed to train even harder. Once everyone left the arena, Dai Mubai finally decided to confess his feelings to Zhu Juqing. Unfortunately, Fatty accidentally revealed his plan in front of everyone. The result was immediate embarrassment. Zhu Juqing assumed Dai Mubai was just another flirt and walked away. Later, Tang San and Xiao Wu spent some time talking before returning to the academy. At the entrance, they found Dai Mubai arguing with Ning Rongdrong. Ning Rong were speaking so disrespectfully that Dai Mubai finally lost his temper and moved toward her. Before things escalated, Tang San stepped in and told him to calm down. Dai Mubai reluctantly left. Once he was gone, Ning Rong turned toward Tang San and made an unbelievable offer. She told him to kill Dai Mubai. If he did, her clan would reward him with money, status, and a prestigious position. Tang San immediately rejected the idea. None of those things mattered to him. Instead, he advised her to change her behavior and walked away. Ning Rongrong then turned to Oscar and asked for his support. To her surprise, Oscar refused. As well. She couldn't believe it. "You like me. Why aren't you taking my side?" Oscar finally spoke honestly. "You've spent so much time reminding everyone that you're from a great clan. You've made all of us feel like we're beneath you. And honestly, I don't think someone like me belongs with a girl from a family like yours." For the first time, Ning Rongrong truly understood what she had been doing. She didn't respond, but deep down she realized that if she didn't change, she would never have any real friends. Unable to hold it in any longer, she broke down and cried. The next morning, all the students gathered in formation again. As usual, Oscar arrived late. The dean was just about to scold him when Oscar excitedly announced some incredible news. He had broken through to rank 30. Everyone was thrilled. Even the dean couldn't hide his excitement. For a food-type spirit master, reaching rank 30 was an enormous achievement. To advance further, Oscar now needed a third spirit ring. That meant hunting a spirit beast. The dean immediately gave an order. Everyone would travel into the forest together and help Oscar obtain his next spirit ring. To celebrate, the dean told Oscar to make sausages for everyone. Oscar happily got to work. Naturally, nobody was eager to eat them. But once the sausages were finished, something unexpected happened. Ning Rongrong stepped forward first. Without hesitation, she ate both of Oscar's sausages. Everyone stared at her in shock. A moment later, Zhao Wuji arrived. He would be leading the expedition. Under his guidance, the group entered the forest and began searching for suitable spirit beasts. For a while, they found nothing. At one point, Oscar nearly fell into a ravine while walking. Ning Rongrong quickly grabbed him and saved him. For the first time, a romantic spark seemed to appear from her side as well. After wandering through the forest for quite some time, the group eventually reached a nearby town. Since it was getting late, they decided to spend the night there. They entered a restaurant and sat down to eat. While they were eating, another academy students entered the restaurant. These students were known for causing trouble wherever they went. The Shrek students immediately sensed that a conflict was coming. The newcomers first tried to have a waiter spill food onto them, but Tang San reacted instantly and prevented it from happening. Then they attempted to injure Dai Mubai by striking his leg. Unfortunately for them, Dai Mubai was far tougher than they expected. They ended up hurting themselves instead. Soon, the leader of the opposing academy stood up and asked which school they were from. When he heard the name Shrek Academy, he burst out laughing. The students came from an elite academy filled with wealthy nobles. To them, Shrek sounded ridiculous. Before long, an argument turned into a fight. The students from both schools started clashing. However, Xiao Wu quickly gained the upper hand and began overwhelming her opponents. Seeing his classmates getting beaten, the leader of the rival academy finally became angry. Now both groups were glaring at each other across the restaurant, and with tensions reaching their breaking point, the episode ended right there.